In this video, we're going to be using Shannon Soap's Pina Colada and the Filarmonica 13 with the Dr. Matt Edge. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And today, we have a good one for you, I think. We have Shannon Soaps, which to me is the most underrated soap in shavedom by a lot. This is Pina Colada, and it is bright and booming. The scent on this one, I would call it strongly scented. It is bright, booming, sweet. If you're very averse to sweet scents, this one will probably not be for you out of the tub. It's just got that bright, you get a pineapple smash, then you get that coconut reminiscent of the Pina Colada drink in that song by Rupert Holmes. Remember that? If you like Pina Colada. Anyway, but it's nice, it's bright. If you like sweet scents, you'll probably like it. Pineapple, coconut. If you don't, this one you probably want to steer clear of. This comes to you for $11.95 for 4 ounces, or $2.98 on our cost chart there, which is an exceptional price for a soap of this quality. The ingredients we'll put for you right there. Some of the ingredients we like. It is tallow-based. We have kokum, cocoa, butter, lanolin. She also has goat's milk formulas and other formulas. This is just sort of the base formula, and I find it to be very good and very underrated. So we look forward to using this today. Shannon Soap's Pina Colada. We will also be using today the Filarmonica 13, which is out of Spain, and this was just sent back to me by Dr. Matt 357. I'll link his channel below. He has a lot of great videos on honing, and he honed this one up for me. This is a quarter hollow, so it's more wedgy. You won't get as much singing from this razor. And honestly, wedges aren't my favorite, but this one is at least partially hollow. But we look forward to trying Dr. Matt's cuticle edge. He put in a piece of paper that listed everything he did on this razor, which was very professional. Very nice job by Dr. Matt. I'm sure I will appreciate that edge. And let's just get going. Let's get into it. Under 24 hours growth today, about 22 hours because I'm shaving a couple hours earlier than normal, but you can see a little bit of the salt there because everything is mostly gray and white these days. Using the West Coast shaving brush today, our Captain's Choice bowl, and let's, I always leave a little extra hydration in my soap while I'm talking because, you know, your soaps will dry out in a bowl if you're not careful. But I'm telling you, this has made a beautiful lather and quite easily. And this is just one of those soaps that it just gets it done. You know, it's good quality. It's affordable, made by nice people, very nice people. You won't find better people. I've known them for quite a number of years now. And I do know that they are working on the label. So for those of you who are put off by the relatively simplistic labels, they're working on it. And Shannon is just such a super nice lady, always willing to answer your questions and be helpful. I just love Shannon and her husband, Brian. They're terrific people. If you've never tried Shannon's, I encourage you to do so. It is good stuff, and that is a really nice lather with very, very little effort today with the Shannon's, which is what I expected. In fact, I just had someone yesterday text me out of the blue and went, "Man, this Shannon's, it's good stuff, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been telling you that." So they were like, "Wow, this is good." And I'm like, "Yeah, it really is." Okay, so let's get going today with our Filarmonica 13, honed by Dr. Matt on the cuticle, and see how we do. Hopefully we'll do great. And the cuticle has a very, and that's nice, I can tell already. The cuticle has a very distinctive, smooth feel to it. And those of you who have either honed on or used cuticles know what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel like any other edge. It has and I can't explain how it feels other than to say when you use a cuticle edge, you know it's cuticle. It has a smoothness to it and a buttery sort of feel. It doesn't feel like a laser beam like some of the JNAT edges, but this one is well done. There's no this one is very smooth. He's done a very good job of refining this cuticle edge. You can tell it's plenty sharp, but it's got that trademark cuticle kind of buttery lack of a better, I know that's what a lot of guys say. I can't put it into words the way it feels. But you know you're using a cuticle when you use one. And this edge is quite good. And honestly, I didn't expect anything different from Dr. Matt, because he's been honing for a long time, making great videos. And I would have been very surprised if it wasn't a good edge from Dr. Matt. Now that said, keep in mind the edge preference is just like soap preference and everything else. Some people like some soap brands or soap scents and not the other. I mean, it's, you know, edges is wildly subjective. What you prefer in an edge can, you know, vary wildly from person to person, or what folks prefer, I should say. But I can tell you right now, this is a good edge. And it's what I expected from Dr. Matt, because he's been honing for a long time and offering honing advice for a long time. And I appreciate that Dr. Matt is one of those folks that still hones for people, you know. Because there's some guys that are out there that, you know, give a lot of instruction on honing, but they don't really let you shave their edges. And so I appreciate the guys who do. So thank you, Dr. Matt. Thank you very much. This is a very nice edge. It's exactly what I expected. I expected to really enjoy it, even on a blade that honestly, I much prefer a more hollow grind in razors. It's just what I like personally, but that one is right on time. And the soap, I can tell you, is right on time too. And if you've never tried Shannon's, look at that. That is good stuff right there. And easy for me to work with. Now, one of the things I'm careful to say these days is, you know, under my conditions and the way I lather, it's very easy to work with. If you have hard water, or maybe you lather differently, for me, it may not be as easy. But I've always found this to be one of the easier soaps to work with. But I definitely want to be careful in how I phrase things, because some people will have trouble depending on their unique conditions, or maybe their brush, or they're just not familiar with the soap. And, you know, you don't want to be offensive to those people and saying, if you can't lather this, something's wrong with you. And I have said those things in the past, and I should not. I should just simply say, for me, this is a very easy soap to work with, and to get a nice, creamy, hydrated lather. I think, honestly, Shannon's, for me, runs with any soap out there, regardless of cost. It runs with the Kaizens, it runs with the Milk Steaks, it runs with the Barrister and Man. The only difference is it doesn't have the following, and I promise you, if Shannon's had the following that A&E or Declaration had, you'd see it all the time. On a quality basis, in fact, if you put this in the tub, if you put this in an A&E tub, people likely wouldn't know much difference. I'll just be honest with you. It is that good, or at least it is for me. Let me put it that way. I have never had any issue with Shannon's at all. One of the things I find with the blade that's a little bit more wedgy, it feels a little different on the skin, and you don't get that feedback. So for me, they're not as enjoyable to use, but I can tell you right now, this edge is quite nice. So I'm happy to have finally tried Dr. Matt's edge after watching him for all this time. He certainly knows what he's doing, and thank you, Dr. Matt. Really appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I'm going to use Dr. Matt's stretching cloth today. He uses his daughter made these. I don't know if he has any more, but you can go. I'll link his channel below, and if he has any more, I'm sure he'll be happy to sell them to you. This is just to help you stretch, particularly when you're new. Sometimes the soaps are super slick, and something like this will help you, you know, keep your stretch point. There are many ways to do it. You don't need it probably, but early on especially, I found it helpful in stretching because my hand kept slipping. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but early on, I did use these quite a bit, and it keeps your hands dry if nothing else, you know. Very nice. I just talked to Shannon from Shannon Soaps not too long ago on the phone. We had a nice conversation, just sort of trying to learn a little more about soap making. I'm not interested myself, don't get me wrong. Just, asking questions, and was interested in seeing, where the company was going. It is one of those companies that, again, as I've said, I've really enjoyed using over the years. They have a good sense of humor. They're good folks, and they legitimately appreciate your business. And they legitimately appreciate when you make a video or you post a shave of the day with their product in it. A lot of artisans, they won't stop by the video, drop a comment, or even give it a thumbs up. But Shannon's, if they see it, they certainly will. And I tell you, on a quality basis, you can do a lot worse than Shannon's. Let's try to remember to use our Dr. Matte cloth here a little bit here today. You can do a lot worse than Shannon's, I promise you that, quality-wise. For me, it's one of the top soaps in my den, and it has been for a long time. So I say this every single time, and people probably get tired of hearing it, but, there are brands that I feel very strongly about, and it's really not because of my personal connection to the folks at Shannon's, although I like them personally. I just really believe they have a fine product, and that's what it comes down to. And I have never had any quality issue with the Shannon soap product. And this one today, if you like sweet, bright pineapple smash between the eyes, you might enjoy this one. But I will say, I'm never going to try to point you down a road where I think you'll get something you don't like. If you're averse to sweet and bright, then this is not one you're going to want. I would suggest something else. But this one, very nice. Very nice indeed. I had a gentleman the other day commenting on one of the videos, and he asked, I used to be about splaying the brush. And I don't do that a ton anymore for a couple of reasons. One, I don't need to, because, I can make the lather in the bowl here beautifully and just sort of paint it on. And that is, what that's doing is, it's making it very easy on my face. And in fact, if you go back and read the instructions from like your Simpsons brushes, it'll tell you not to make those circular motions that they were intended to paint with. Now, I'm not telling you not to do that. You do whatever you want, but I'm just pointing out that on those instructions, if you look at the instructions, they were never meant to do all that scrubbing. They were meant to make a lather with and paint like so. And that is very easy on your face. And that's why I do this. There's really no reason to do a lot of scrubbing unless I don't have enough lather, maybe. And I need to get some lather out of the knot, but as you can see, that's not the case with the Shannon's today. And quite frankly, nor has it ever been with Shannon's. I've just never had any sort of issue at all. And so, again, it really does make me happy when I use it. And, I like to root for some of these companies that don't get the following they should. And we hope in 2021 more people will realize that at this price, even their premium formulas are well priced relative to pretty much everybody else. It is a soap that is well worth trying. And Dr. Matte Edge is an edge well worth trying, in my opinion. Even on this, quarter hollow blade, which again is not my favorite type of edge. It's very nice. So thank you, Dr. Matte, once again. And of course, the fine folks at Shannon for making this outstanding soap. Very nice indeed. And we are sorry about the stomach growling there, if you can hear it. But we're going to attempt to have a wonderful day every single day and be positive as possible. And the shave sort of sets us on that path, I think. I get a great shave in the morning, and then you just, you have a wonderful, wonderful day. It just sort of sets the tone for me, it does. Makes me happy, and I'm happy to share it with you. And that's pretty much what I just do, is share whatever's going on here good, bad, and ugly. And occasionally we have a bad experience. Not very often. We had, as I mentioned in I think Real Talk last time, we did 550 shaves last year. Not all on cam, but over 300 on cam. And out of those 550, we had 3 bad lathering experiences. That was like, 99.45% of the time not having an issue. So we don't have a lot of issues, but occasionally something happens. And it could be me. It could be the product. Things happen. And we simply show what's happening as it happens. Whether it be a nick, cut, or, a soap that maybe didn't do as well as I expected. We show that and we talk about it. We don't shy away from talking about things that didn't work as well as expected. However, we never really intend to hurt any companies or anything like that. That's certainly not our goal, but we do just simply show what happens. And of course, at the same time, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect, so I make mistakes too. So please keep that in mind. But if you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. Also, again, go check out Dr. Matt. I will link his channel below. Great guy. And Dr. Matt hails from Arizona. All right, very nice. Excellent edge. I expected no less. If I had gotten an edge I didn't like from Dr. Matt, I was going to be shocked. But not the case today. Really, really nice shave, so nothing to complain about. Wiping the blade off here just to remove the water so I can what I'll do is wipe the blade, fold it up for now, set it aside, then I'll come back and make sure I use a paper towel or piece of toilet paper to get any additional moisture, and then we'll, of course, go strop it and do maintenance on it, apply a little bit of oil maybe, we'll talk about that in a separate video. All right. For now, let me rinse it and we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back in off cam. We did the cold water rinse. We applied the alum, no stinging. That was a superb edge. We did the alum, then we did the cold water rinse, followed by the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber. And I tell you, that was a very enjoyable shave. The edge on this was very, very professionally done. I expected no less. Check out Dr. Matt. I will link his channel below. Very, very nice. When I talk about oil, I'm talking about either mineral oil or frog lube. Frog lube is also non-toxic, so sometimes I'll coat the blade in that if I'm not going to get to it for a long time so it doesn't rust. The Shannon's today was spectacular. Sweet, bright. Think of that when you think about this soap. The Captain's Choice Lather Bowl, always excellent. West Coast Shaving Synthetic Brush. And we'll finish it out today with Shannon's Pina Colada Splash. Their splashes are well priced also. And we're just going to put a little bit in here because my wife's been having some asthma issues, so I don't want to put on too much. But I do want to get this on because it's a beautiful scent for me. Bright, makes you happy. It's invigorating. I love it. I added a little menthol to this one too, just to give it a little cooling. But I want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Dr. Matt, for honing the edge. Till next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.